Welcome back to another tip of the week, and I'm continuing to give out tips, okay, to what you can use to help you on the quarantine. And usually I shoot these and I edit this with 2 months of advance, so that's why I'm still using my webcam and still not having great audio because of this. Like last week I did the tip last week, and this week again I saw new platforms. I was introduced to new platforms and new stuff that I thought, yeah, I'm gonna show my students, I'm gonna show my public this. So this is why the video quality and the audio quality isn't what you're used to here in this channel, because I'm doing this with less time. But let's get started, okay? So here, once again, I want to introduce, remember that on the last step I introduced Zoom and Big Blue Button and Skype, all platforms that you can do video conferencing with a lot of people. There's another platform called Jitsi, okay, that is like Big Blue Button, is open source and free, and once again is for video conferencing with a lot of people. I know someone who is using this platform to teach. He is a high school teacher and he's very satisfied with this platform. So if you're still looking for a platform for video conferencing, this platform is a great idea. Then you have StreamYard. So StreamYard is a streaming platform that lets you stream your webcam, lets you stream presentations, put here presentations. And the best part, I think, that when I saw this last week, I wasn't familiar with StreamYard, was the fact that you can connect with someone remotely and StreamYard will stream you both. So you can do interviews or maybe do a panel or something like this with a lot of people. They have free and paid plans, and the capabilities you have available to you depend on the free or paid plan. For instance, on the free plan, I think you can stream only to YouTube, but on the paid plan you can stream to more places. They're very interesting. I haven't had the chance to use them yet, but they sound very interesting. Then you have Restream, and this one I use, okay. This one I have used the few times I have done lives. I usually don't do a lot of lives because I have a lot of traffic. Even we're quarantined and I still get traffic, still get noise from outside. So I don't do a lot of lives. But Restream works this way. You have, again, free and paid accounts. And Restream, what's nice of Restream is that you can come here and you see I have 4 streaming channels connected, okay. And what I use Restream with is I use Restream with OBS. So if you come here to the settings and you come to stream on OBS, you can connect straight away to one of the, I said last class, OBS is made for streaming games. So you can connect to one of the channels or to Restream. And the difference is I can Restream to multiple channels at once with Restream by connecting my channels here on the web platform of Restream, and then on OBS, instead of connecting to YouTube or to Twitch or to Periscope, connecting to Restream, and then my live is streamed on multiple channels at the same time. So that's very useful. So let's say you're streaming for some reason. Maybe you started streaming to connect to your clients. Maybe you started making lives to connect to your students or something like that. This tool can help you. They have many channels, and the difference between the free account and the paid account, I think, is the number of channels. I haven't still yet reached the limit of the free account, so I don't know how many channels top you can connect to the free account. But one of the big differences, the free account allows you to connect to your personal Facebook page, your personal timeline, but the paid account allows you to connect to your company page, okay, to a fan page, something like that. So that's the difference. Also, let's go back. Also, if you have a paid account, you can schedule your streams and stuff like that. Okay, so you've got a lot of capabilities. They help you with chat. Okay, so you can chat with they help you with the chat that you can have going on your live stream. You can connect to the different channels, so you can control your chats from your different channels from here, and you can even show the chat if you want to on OBS. There's a way you can show the chat so people can see what other people are commenting on your video. So that's interesting. Another interesting view, the one I have here is in Portuguese, but what I'm suggesting is for you to find one in your language, okay, in your where you live. This one is Brazilian, and I've been using, but I've seen that there are a lot of channels in many different languages. So I'm saying look for this on your language. This channel is for doing exercises at home, so they are very good because they have like 20 minutes 30 minutes classes, and the person does the exercise and you see the exercise and you can copy them. And so this is really great, and I suggest you find one on your language, because one of the problems of being quarantined is exactly that, okay, that we are not exercising. And you say, oh, but I didn't exercise before. You kind of did, you just didn't notice. When you're walking to work, when you're walking in your work, when you're going to lunch and you cross the street to go to lunch, that's a lot of walking that you do every day without noticing that you're not doing anymore. Okay, you're doing, instead of doing that walking, you're sitting. That can cause some health issues, so you need to replace that with some exercises. And like I said, depending on the exercise, you can do something interesting. Another thing here is I've shown my Portuguese on the Portuguese video, and I can't show you here for your community, but again, go look for your community. There are several campaigns being made. One, for instance, to pressure governments to help out the people who, like freelancers and people who wouldn't be able to stop working because they get paid by hour, or they're freelance workers and stuff like that, because then they wouldn't be getting paid. So a government aid package for them so that they can quarantine. So check out, wherever you live, check out these initiatives and try to help. There are initiatives going around that are called viral kindness, that for you to, even if you can't help like with money or stuff like that, maybe you can help with your knowledge, maybe you can help just talking to someone, maybe elderly people that are alone, so that you can pick up the phone and just have a chat with them, or stuff like that. And there's I saw this in Portuguese, I don't know if this is going around in English, but there's an idea here for you if you know someone like that, like someone who has maybe a food cart or something like that, people who right now aren't receiving, are people who don't have a lot of income, so they don't have reserves, and because of the shutdown, because of the social isolation, they can't work, so they can't sell their hot dog, they can't sell whatever they sell on the streets normally. If you know someone like that, contact them, establish a crowdfunding page for them, help them establish a crowdfunding page where people can donate, with the expectation that when the quarantine ends, they will receive a service. So for instance, the hot dog seller, the hot dog vendor, you establish a donation of X dollars for one hot dog, another donation like $5. I don't know how much a hot dog costs, okay? So if I'm saying totally different, forgive me, but this is the idea. So let's say $5 for a hot dog, $10 for 2 hot dogs, and what's gonna happen is he's gonna take note of everyone who donated and how much and what they are owed. So when this quarantine ends, when people can take back their normal life, this person will give the people who donated them the service they paid for, so the hot dog they paid for, and stuff like that. So it's not that you're giving money away is that you're actually buying their service, buying now a service that you're gonna use later, but you're guaranteeing that now they have money to survive. And I thought that was a great idea. That's a campaign that's been going on here in Brazil, because there's a lot of what we call informal work here, of people who sell sweets on the street and stuff like that. So if you know someone like that, contact them, see if you can make a crowdfunding page for them, see if you can send that information to their clients, to your friends, maybe to the people you work with. So it's the guy maybe who sells hot dog in front of your workplace, and you usually buy your hot dog there, your lunch there, so people on your work know him and will know that, oh, that's the hot dog guy, and maybe they'll help. So those initiatives, the technology, the internet is helping a lot that, because you can donate via PayPal, via sometimes just a deposit on a bank account or stuff like that, or you can help like that, like what I just said about the crowdfunding. And it's important that we help, because this isn't a situation where is everybody for themselves. Okay, this is a situation where we have to help each other, and where the people who have more means do need to help the people with less means, because we're not gonna stop coronavirus if we don't stop everybody from getting infected. Okay, everybody from whatever social class they are. And so everybody needs to quarantine. So people with more means need to help the people with less means so that they can quarantine too. And for those who are worried about the economy, saying, oh, we can't quarantine, we can't self-isolate because of the economy, I'm going to say something. The economy is already being affected, because health services are already being affected, because people are afraid of going to the streets, because people are afraid of going to places with crowds, because people are afraid of going and buying clothes that they have to put on themselves, that maybe someone else put on themselves. So the longer the coronavirus crisis continues, the longer the economic crisis goes on. Okay, so if you're only I've been advocating quarantine for the health purposes from the beginning, but over this last week, I've seen a alarming amount of people advocating that there shouldn't be a quarantine because of the economy. Well, guess what? If you don't stop the coronavirus crisis fast, you're gonna just make the economic crisis last longer, okay? And take more time for us to be able to retake and to make the economy grow again, okay? Because it's like this, there are experts that says that to get rid of the quarantine of the coronavirus, the whole world needs to enter a complete quarantine for at least 2 months. So the longer you take, those 2 months, that timeline of 2 months doesn't change. If you start now, we can start regrowing the economy 2 months from now. If you start 2 months from now, we can only start regrowing the economy 4 months from now, because those 2 months are going to start counting from the point where you start a complete quarantine. Okay? So it's not going to start counting before. So you still have always those 2 months again. The longer we take to start that, the longer we're going to be in this crisis. Okay? Both health and economic. So sorry that I was angry at this last piece, but here in Brazil, last week was very stressful because of that, because of campaigns that are going against the World Health Organization's specifications and suggestions. Okay, so I'm very stressed, but I truly believe that if we stop two things, thinking short term, thinking of today instead of 1 month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now, if we stop thinking like that, so we start seeing the future, and we start thinking as a community where everybody affects everybody, so that is connected and needs to help each other, instead of what we've been seeing over the last years, which is a more and more separation of, and self-centered thinking only about yourself and your immediate family and friends and loved ones, instead of thinking of the whole, of everybody. Now we need to think of everybody. Now we need to think that if we don't help those that need help, we're gonna be in trouble. Okay, so this is the time where we need to think as a community, and we used to think like that before, but we have lost that over the last few years. And if we start thinking like that again, I think we can survive this. We can stop the spread of cases and the spread of deaths, especially. So please stay at home. Please do what you can to help others. And I'll see you next week. If during the week I learn of new stuff that can help, I will make, again, just like this one, a special edition, lightning. I don't even know how to call this, like an edition that I'm gonna be recording on the same week instead of the planned one. But if I don't have anything new to show to you that can help during the quarantine, then the next video should be about Kaggle. Okay? So see you next week.